What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on CellMed. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Salman Ahmed and I am an incoming first year medical student going to be starting medical school this upcoming July. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about why I think, in my opinion, every single person, every single student should be using Anki. Now, typically this channel is usually dedicated for people who are pre-med or in the medical field, but in my opinion, Anki is something that could be used for anyone that's learning any bit of information. Despite what career path you might be going down, I would still highly recommend that you use this app. If you're a pre-med or medical student and at least spend a little bit of time watching YouTube videos, then you already kind of know what Anki is. So let's go ahead and break down why it's so highly used in medical school and why everyone speaks of it so highly. Anki is essentially a app or a learning tool that pretty much makes learning easy. How? Through spaced repetition and active recall. These two things are known study techniques that have been proven to help learn material, especially large amounts of material that you have to learn in short amount of time. Typically, the best way to do spaced repetition or active recall is through flashcards, and this is exactly why this is perfect for Anki. So essentially, Anki comes back to these flashcards over and over again to repeat the learning until you master the word or concept you're trying to learn, which is essentially active recall. Because when you see the word, you have to understand, okay, what is the definition or what is the main concept associated with this word? So this method of doing active recall is actually a lot more effective than passive studying, which also acts to improve overall memory as well. Again, going back to the concept of active recall and spaced repetition, Anki is essentially forcing you to memorize this information through the Anki algorithm, but it's having you go back to the basic concepts and these vocabulary words over and over again until it's put in your head. But what spaced repetition exactly is doing is it's also helping you memorize and learn this information for the long term. So it's not just, putting this information for short-term memory and you take the exam and you forget it, but the algorithm is set in a way that you'll be able to actually remember this information for the long term as well, 1, 2, 3, 4 years down the road. So we see, for example, in this case where I'm using Anki for my anatomy class that I'm taking this semester with my medical school, and just like with any other flashcard, this would be considered the front of the flashcard. So here we have on the front that metastasis of tumor cells occurs by 3 different mechanisms. Now in my head, when I see this, I'm mentally trying to think, well, what are these 3 mechanisms that we talked about in lecture? So here, a shortcut would be you could either click show answer, or you could press spacebar. And then we have the 3 different mechanisms of how metastasis of tumor cells can spread. So number 1, of course, is local spread, invasion, lymphatic channels, and blood vessels are the 3 ways. Now, if you see the options down below, you can hit again, good, or easy. Now, what this essentially means is, again, at the beginning, I'm going through my head, well, do I really know the 3 mechanisms? Can I say the 3 mechanisms without looking at the answer? And if I can't, then I'm going to press 1. If I only hit 2 of the 3, I'm still going to hit 1 in my case. Some people might hit that as good, and I'll explain why later. And or you could hit easy, like this was an easy card and you understand it. This is a home run, you understand all the concepts. Just for an example here, let's just say in this case I didn't understand this concept and I need to see it again in 1 minute. Now what you're going to see is it's going to move me on to the next card, right? And it's going to show me again, this is asking, what does the superior inferior apertures do? And if I click the answer, and then I have a screenshot of the lecture notes that I had from the lecture, and I have the answer here is connect the thorax to the neck and the abdomen. So let's say that this is good or easy, then I would see this card again in 10 minutes, right? And eventually, as I'm going through the cards, you'll go through all the cards and eventually you'll get back to that same main card, again asking about the metastasis of the 3 different mechanisms of tumor cells and how they spread. And again, this is really emphasizing on spaced repetition and active recall, because you're actively having to recall the same concept over and over again until you understand it. So I know at first Anki can be pretty intimidating, especially when you open the app and it looks like, a bunch of something that you're not used to seeing. So I'm going to be starting a new playlist on this channel that's going to be dedicated to Anki, how to use it, how to make cards, how to use it properly. So you're optimizing your Anki time and you're optimizing your time in general, so you're not wasting your time trying to figure out how to use it. But I'm also going to link some videos in the description down below that personally helped me get used to Anki. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell so you make sure that you don't miss those videos, and I will see you guys in the next video.